Hi and welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to see how to install Ubuntu 24.04 in Digitalocean. So let's get to it. Log into Digitalocean if you have an account. If you don't have an account, you can get free $200 credit using my link in the description. Once you create your account, you can deploy your Ubuntu 24.04. So to do that, I'm just going to click on create. We want to create a droplet. So a droplet is a virtual machine on Digitalocean. So I'm going to click on droplet. Of course, choose a region where you want the droplet to be. I'm going to choose London as my region. And then data center, I'm going to choose, okay, there's only one data center in London, so I'm just going to stick with that. And then VPC, if you have knowledge about VPC, you can create a VPC network where you're going to add all your droplets. In this case, I'm just going to use the default VPC network. And then choose an image. So this is where we're going to choose Ubuntu. And I'm going to go with Ubuntu 24.04 LTS. Whenever you need to run anything in production, just stick with the LTS versions because they provide long-term support. They are more stable in the Ubuntu ecosystem. Choose the type of server that you want. So you can choose a basic, droplet, general purpose. So these are dedicated CPUs, I mean dedicated CPUs and shared CPUs. Whichever one you want to use, select it. I'm going to stick with shared, and that's the one you should stick with as well. It's just the normal VPS. So you can choose regular, premium Intel, or premium AMD. AMD you can see is cheaper, so I'm going to select that 2 GB of AMD. And then additional storage, if you need to add a volume, you can even add this later on. And when you add it later on, there's nothing special you need to do. You just choose the size and then you attach it to your droplet. And then backups, you can enable daily backups or weekly backups. So early availability simply means there is a new version that allows for daily backups, but there's one that allows for weekly backups, which is 20% of your droplet cost. If your workload is critical, of course, select backup. And then SSH key, you can use an SSH key to log in, or you can use a password. Of course, the correct way is to use an SSH key. So let me just show you how to generate a key and add it here. I'm assuming you want to create a new key and add it here. It is a very simple process. Just follow along with me and everything is going to be fine. So I've already created all the commands we're going to use here. So the first one, we're going to create a directory. We're going to generate the key, and then we're going to see how to log into our server, and then we're going to update the server, and that will be the end of the video. So let's start by generating our key. And if you're following along with me on Windows, download Git and then open Git Bash. Download and install Git. And Git is going to come with Git Bash. Git for Windows is going to come with Git Bash. Open up Git Bash, and that's what I'm going to use as well, and that's what you should use. If you're on a Mac or on Linux, just use the terminal that comes with your operating system. Let me open Git Bash. So the first thing, we're going to make a directory to store our keys. This is from the tutorial I did with Vultr. So let me just do another one with docean. So we're going to store our key inside there. And this one as well is docean. So I'm going to explain them, don't worry. So first of all, let's make a directory. So you can follow along regardless of which operating system you're using. And then we're going to generate our SSH key. So ssh-keygen is a command to generate the key. -t will tell which type of key to generate, and we're going to generate this key. And then -f is just a file name to allow you to give your key a name and where it will be stored. So that will be the name of our key, and you can change that name to whatever you want. Paste. So you can give your key a passphrase. A passphrase is an additional security for your key. I'm just going to press enter so that I can bypass that. I don't need the passphrase. So you can see there is a link to our private key, and this is our public key, the one with .pub. So I'm going to copy that, and I want to open it with Visual Studio Code. So to open anything with VS Code, you can just do code, but let me first of all clear the screen, Control L to clear the screen. And I'm going to do code Shift Insert to paste inside of Git bash. And I'm going to press enter to open the public key in VS Code. So let me click there to add the new SSH key. Paste the key and I will give it a name. I'm just going to call it key 0. And then I'm going to add SSH key. So I'm going to select that key. You can actually use multiple keys on your server, but I'm just going to add that one key. Anything else here that I need to talk about? So you can add the improved metrics. You can use the managed DB. In my case, I just want to deploy the one droplet. You can give it a tag. If maybe it's a production server, test server, you can do that there. Then select the project where it will be. For me, it will be in demos. If you need to create a new project, just create a new project from there. And of course, you need to give your server a host name. So I'm just going to call this sample.bizanosa.com. And that's pretty much it. Let's just confirm everything. The Ubuntu server version 24.4. Our location is London. All right, that's it. So I'm just going to create droplets. Let's wait for an IP to be assigned, and then we're going to log in. There we go. Our deployment is now ready, and we can copy the IP address from there. And then let's come back to this, and I'm going to add this in the description below, so don't worry about that. Our user is root, our IP, the one we've just copied, and we're going to log in with that key. That will be our login key. Make sure you edit the details appropriately. If you stored your key in a different location, make sure you add the correct location there, your IP address, your user. If maybe you created another user, you can use that user there. So I'm going to copy, and we are going to now log into our server using that key. Yes, accept by typing yes. Press enter, and you're now logged into your server. If everything is right, if the key is right, the user is right, the IP is correct, then you'll be logged into your server. I will do Control L to clear the screen. The next step, let's update the server. Paste, enter. All right, the update is complete. I can clear the screen again with Control L. And we can just confirm the version of our server. I can do hostname CTL. That's going to show us some details about our server. Virtualization, KVM, operating system Ubuntu 24.04 LTS, Linux version 6.8, architecture 64-bit system. Right. In this video, you've seen how to deploy Ubuntu 24.04 in DigitalOcean. Just remember, if you need the $200 credit, you can go in the description. You're going to get the link. So you've also seen how to generate the SSH key and log into your server with it. And that's the correct way to do it. You should just stop using keys and use the SSH keys to set up your server. So the next step, of course, I'm going to delete the server because I don't need it for anything. So to delete it, I'm just going to click there and then click on destroy, and then click on destroy droplet button. And I need to confirm, so I'm going to copy the name. Make sure when you copy the name, you don't copy with any spaces, because if there are any spaces, the button will not be activated. So I'm just going to click there on destroy to destroy the droplet. And that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know.